You are listening to Love, Light, Lonnie, the podcast. I'm Lonnie Nishiyama, and join me as we discover the gifts that live within all of us and how these gifts bring us together to love, help others, inspire, and of course, vibrate higher. Welcome to Love, Light, Lonnie. Hi, I'm Lonnie, if you don't know, but it's Love Light Lonnie, so I assume you know who I am somewhat. And I have the honor of being with the beautiful, wonderful, good-souled human, Candi. And she is somebody that I met, I don't know how many years ago.
Oh my goodness, I think it was like in 2016.
2016. Wow. I know you walked in, you're like, I can't believe you're a mom. I remember you like when you were single, like not even married yet. I'm like, that is so weird.
Who is this woman? She's so well put together. She's got babies
No.
now. I love it.
It's a facade. So anyways, Candi is such a lovely human being. She does a lot for just not, only in the hosting entertainment world, but she also just really touches people's hearts. And I'd love to know.
So sweet.
Thank you. Well, you're so sweet. And I want you to be able to tell the audience kind of who you are, where you come from, what you stand for.
Well, first of all, I'm just so happy to be here. I'm honored to be here with you.
No, thank you.
This is great.
Yay! I know. You're so cute. I missed you. I know. She's like a model. Look at her.
Oh my God. I'm humbled to be here with you. I'm so proud of you and everything you've done and accomplished. And wow, can't believe it was in 2016 when we met. We were in TV hosting class.
Yes.
To be better versions of ourselves, right?
I agree.
And the way that we've evolved over time has been beautiful. I'm originally from Jacksonville, Florida. I'll start there. I live here in LA now. And I am a ambitious, brave, beautiful, soft woman. I'm a country girl.
I love that.
I'm a creative.
Yes.
I am a healer.
Yes.
That's what I'm learning. That I'm a healer.
Yes.
And I'm learning how to allow my gifts to make room for me.
I love that. And your gifts are honestly beautiful. I mean, from the moment I met you, even in class, and you just got up, I think we were doing something about like, on E or whatever, entertainment. It's like I know, we're like, who cares? But we were like up there like reading stuff, and I'm like, this girl's actually really talented. Because, you see a lot of pretty people come to the class, and I'm like, okay, what is she going to say? How boring, or he's whatever.
Right. It just seems so surface.
Right. And then you got up there, and you're like, no, this is me. And then it was one of the first times you were super raw about where you came from and your upbringing. And I think it brought me to tears. But it was just so beautiful because it also – I can't relate to you in that way, but I've had certain things in my upbringing that have made me who I am. Yeah. And now that I'm a mother, I just look at things like that so differently. And your story really resonated with me because I was not even brave enough to tell my story at the time and what I've been through in life. But hearing where you've been, I was like, this woman's incredible. And she has a smile on her face, and she's in here trying to light up the room. And you have that ability, like even at a party, she walks in, everyone's like, So I was like, okay, like I love this girl. She's so awesome. And I think your gifts are just really to touch people's lives, and you don't even know you're doing it. But I would, if you don't mind sharing, I wanted to ask you kind of where you grew up and what your situation was like to where you are now. Like, how has your life molded and shaped the person that you are now?
Wow.
It's a big question, sorry, but
it's a great question.
It brings out your gifts, so I wanted to know.
Well, I grew up in the foster care system in Jacksonville, Florida. At the time, I was one of 4. I'm now one of 6. And I had no idea who I was being called to be for my family. I think a lot of times when we're going through so much, you're like, why me? Like, why is this happening? Schizophrenic mom, white mom, black dad, which also comes with layers of, being multiracial.
Sure.
It was just really hard. Ended up in the foster care system, spent 10 years in the foster care system. There was wow, I don't even know where to start. There's so many layers.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting, just like learning how to piece everything together now, and understanding why things happened the way they did, understanding my parents' journey, understanding where they came from, understanding that it happened the way it did because it was supposed to. I think that through understanding comes healing. So I'm healing.
You're healing. I think we're all healing. Like, I always joke with my girlfriend. I'm like, why are we here? She's like, do you think this is hell? And I'm like, maybe. I'm like,
That is such an interesting question, right?
I'm like, maybe we're supposed to be learning everything here and taking it to the other place or wherever we go, and like being at peace or heaven, whatever you believe in. But I love your story and your vulnerability to share it, and all the things that you do, and you advocate for your community. And I've seen you do things on Instagram with like the foster care system, and really going for things that you believe in and making changes. And that to me is just so inspiring.
Thank you.
And I think it's going to inspire so many children just hearing your story, because maybe they're not in that system, but they can be stuck in a different situation that isn't serving them or making them happy.
Yeah.
And to know that, we have these hardships in life. They're given to us because we're supposed to learn and grow from them to make us the people that we are, to make us better people so that we can help others. And then that love is shared. When you really sit down and think about it, and I get passionate about this stuff, people are like, well, I believe in this. And if you don't believe in this, then you're not a good person, or you're not going to go to the good place. It's like, well, that doesn't even make sense. Like, what about the little baby in like the Amazon forest that is like, or wherever they are? Like, they're not going to know about all these things that we know about. So I just feel like if you're a good soul and you're learning and growing and doing it through what you believe in, God, universe, then you can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong. And I think that what we're seeing a lot of today is that people are losing sight of their humanity.
Yes.
And that breaks my heart. And I think like for me, just trying to answer your question, it is so layered because the human species, we're just so complicated and complex, and it's just so many layers to us. I'm like, I don't know how to answer this question, because I know who I am and who I was and who I am now. They're two completely different people.
Totally.
But they're still one and the same, if that makes sense.
It does.
And I'm embracing and I'm learning it, and it's wow. Like I really don't know what to say, but I'm just welcoming the journey.
You're welcoming the journey, and I can see that, because even right now, your energy from when I first met you, which was beautiful, but to now, is I see the maturity. I can feel the growth. I can feel the power that you hold now, which is different. Like, you love yourself a lot more too. Wow. I can feel it. I'm like, you're like moving me right now.
Wow. Thank you. And I received that, because there's been a lot of work that has been done, especially within the last 4 months. Right. It's been a journey. And
why the last 4 months in particular, if you don't mind sharing?
I lost my little brother. I lost the closest person to me in my life, and it rocked me in a way that I've never been rocked before, because even when I look back at my foster care story, he was always the one that was there with me, the one that I felt like I was always called to protect. I remember when he came home from the hospital. I remember, there's so many parts of my story. His birthday is a week and a half apart from mine. So I just feel like within these last 4 months, in order for me to survive that loss, I had to gain understanding of what spirituality is. What does it mean to lose someone, quote unquote, lose someone? But the strength that I have been given through that situation, like I honestly, in the past, I wouldn't have been able to even bring this up without crying.
Right.
Now, like I talk to him on a daily,
because they're always with us.
They're always with us, but I never grasped the true meaning of that before.
Right. And I can understand how that would be. Sorry, I can barely talk. Really difficult, but also in a beautiful way. It's like a loss, but it's shown you this other side of, like you said, your spirituality and like why we are here and how souls are truly real. And you don't believe it until you live it and you experience it. And I think that's why people have created religions and different belief systems, because I think that they do truly believe that. They just don't know how to put words. Yeah, they don't know how to put rules around it. But I don't really like the rules, but some people do that. And that's why it's still so beautiful to me that they do that. But I truly believe that our loved ones are with us, because how can you not believe that? Like, just the dreams alone and the feelings that you get and the memory, it's like there is just no way.
There's no way. And even just in terms of ancestry, and you and I have had some very powerful conversations that have changed me in ways that I don't even know if you really know, like really changed me. And I see my grandmother's eyes when I open my eyes now. You know, I see her smile.
Yeah.
I saw a picture of her for the first time, and it's interesting because I've always felt like a connection to her, you know, and you and I had a great conversation, and that made me very happy. And then when I saw the picture of her, it made sense. It made sense because I saw myself, and I'm realizing that we are the sum of our ancestors, like literally how trauma can be passed down, greatness is passed down as well.
Oh yeah.
And I'm learning what I am to my lineage.
I love that. And may I ask what you were learning in that? Like, what are you learning?
I'm learning that I am here to heal. I am here to heal myself, because when I heal myself, I heal my children. I heal everyone else that comes after me. I have been brought here to break the cycle and the curse.
Yes.
And after me, everything will be different.
Absolutely, everything will be. It's so funny you say this, because that's literally how I feel about myself. You know, and I'm not perfect, and I don't think I'm supposed to be, but I'm here to learn. And I'm here to shift and change so that my kids, when they grow up and they experience their lives, or if they have children, things will be different.
Yeah.
You know, and it's funny you said curse, because I really don't believe in like curses unless you believe in the curse. But let me tell you, if something's happened in your family and it's happened with your great grandma and your grandma and then your mom and then you, it's like, and all your aunts, you're like, well, then there has to be something.
Feels
here.
Like something's going
on. There's a curse on us women here in the family or something. So it's
that's
so
how
funny.
I felt.
Yeah,
like, I've felt like that. I was, you know, like when you really take a look at where you come from and the people that have come before you,
right?
You know, like I did feel like that there was an anger that was being passed down, you know, and there was some dysfunctionality that was being passed down. And just looking at like, you know, how my father was raised and how my mom was raised, you know, so it was just like, okay, well, I see a cycle. I see a pattern here that has not been broken. Therefore, it's creating more and more brokenness consistently over time.
Right.
So therefore, everyone is operating in brokenness.
Yeah.
And I don't want that anymore. We deserve more. We deserve better.
We do deserve better. And you are somebody that I know probably popped out of the womb and your soul knew, I am not going to live life like this. You've always known it.
I've always known.
Yeah. No matter the circumstances.
No matter the circumstances. Like I would always see things for what they really were.
Yeah.
And I would like, even I remember being 5 and 6 years old, always seeing things for what they were.
Yeah.
And sometimes I would cry myself to sleep because I didn't understand, you know, why did God choose me? You know, it was like, God, why did you choose me and not them? You know, and it's like you want everyone to have the same gift. You want everyone to operate in the same space. And you want different for them.
It is interesting to operate out of a place where you know that you're supposed to grow to. Because even as a child, I had that same thing where I would sit in my room and I remember telling my mom, I just don't see myself, like, I'll go to college, Mom, but I don't see myself doing that kind of stuff. And she's like, well, just do it for me. Like, it'll just make me feel better. You know, I had like an Asian mom that was like, okay, you gotta do it.
Yeah.
So I did it. But then I was like, I'm going to go be an actor now. She's like, what? But I've always wanted to. So I just followed my passions, and it led me to hosting. But I also feel like our souls, sometimes when we're born, even as children, I mean, I think you and I are both very empathic, so we can pick up on other people's emotions. Oh, since we were children.
Yeah.
So that's why we feel so hard and we're like, oh, this is so traumatizing, but also I feel like I'm meant to do more in life.
Oh my gosh.
And that is such a beautiful feeling, and it's carried me through my entire life, where I always know where I'm at, I'm supposed to do more. And even now as a mom, it's like I know I have to take care of myself, because I know that I'm supposed to not only help myself, help others too. But in order to do that, fill my cup up. It's that whole thing where you put your mask on first in the airplane, the oxygen mask, then you put it on your kids. Yeah. So because if you're dead, then what are you going to do?
And when you first hear it, you're like, I got to take care of my kids first. But your kids won't have you if you don't take care of yourself.
Right.
Exactly.
And as a parent, I definitely want to be doing that and showing that. But aside from all that, knowing in our hearts that we were always meant to grow and like do more in life is such a huge thing spiritually.
Even the way we process things.
Yes. And like heartache and breakups or the loss of family members or just fighting with your friends. Like I've always handled it different than other people. And it's like I always try to come from a good place and like kindness. I mean, like, don't get me really angry. But like,
I want to see you angry.
Yeah, no, it's, you can ask my husband, it's scary. But like when I really am like, you know, I can see a situation happening and unfolding in front of me and it can be really bad. And I'm like, okay, this is how we're going to handle it. Like normally I can get my head around that. And like, because I just have this like forgiveness in my heart always.
Yeah.
And I'll always have a big heart. I can't help it.
I feel that. I'm the same exact way. Oh my God, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
But sometimes that bites me in the But at the same time, like, again, going back to humanity, you know, we always give people a little extra compassion and grace.
Sure.
You know, because you're like, or at least the way I think is like, I would want someone to give that to me.
Absolutely. And, you know, I also want to thank you so much for opening up about your family member and just your whole situation growing up, because maybe I can't relate to that, but a lot of other people can. And I've been through ups and downs too.
Yeah.
And what's beautiful is that I have a new chapter with my husband almost every like year or two, I'd say. Because we work on it, and whatever you're doing and whatever works for you guys, whether it's therapy or working out together or whatever, like going on a vacation together, like you have to do things, because if you don't, it can get hard, you know. And relationship is always work. Like I don't care if it's your family member, your best friend, your lover, like you'll always have to put work into it. Your kids. And that's just the dynamic of life. But I totally love where I'm at now, because I feel like I have this newfound love for myself, going back to that. I felt like you're loving yourself more.
Yeah.
I feel like I am too, where it's like, I don't need my kids. I mean, please, like they kind of need me right now, but I'm like, I don't need you to love me. I don't need you to love me. I don't need you to love me.
I love this.
I'm just so love myself. Yes. As a mom. I was
going to say, what does that look like for you? Because I have so many girlfriends right now where it breaks my heart, but I feel like they're losing themselves in being a mom or being a wife or being everything to everyone else and nothing to themselves. And so what does that look like for you?
It's a real thing, because I started to become that, actually, where I was like, I have to be the perfect mom and the perfect wife and the perfect daughter. And then I was like, what about me? Like, I'm exhausted and I just want to say no to everyone now. Wow. And I started to.
Good.
And
for you.
I was inspired, you know, and I hear even my mom, my mother-in-law, people talk about it. They're like, if you don't want to do it, just say no. It's like, you know what? You're right.
No.
I'm going to say no. And it's like, oh, mommy, I want this. Too bad. No, we're not doing it. Yeah.
Do you have fun saying no?
Now I'm starting to. Okay, I didn't before.
Okay, good.
Before I'd be like, sure, anything you want. Like, yeah, no, I can't do it. So I'm saying no now. And it's been really like empowering in a way. And also just like awesome. Like
I love that for you.
I'm like, thank you. I'm like calm. I like feel my energy more. I can work on my spirituality more. I can just relax. And it's made me a better person, I think. And I think it's made the house have less tension, actually.
Yes, absolutely.
Because when I was trying to do all those things, I was like, why didn't you pick this up? Or like mad at my husband, do that.
Because you're holding it in.
Yeah, but now I'm like, I'm not going to do that, or I don't care. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, actually, he doesn't even care.
Great.
Yeah. I was like, so I did it to myself all these years, you know? He's like, I don't expect you to do all that. Like you're trying to be perfect. I don't want that.
That's the people pleasing that goes back to
It's
childhood
my own
traumas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everything is a result of the things that we experience as kids. Again,
Mhm.
this is a part of the healing journey.
It's so
you know,
true,
we have to find the root of where it comes from.
Absolutely. And where do you see that in you? Where you're kind of, because I can tell you have a little bit of that in you too, the people pleasing.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I think that whenever you're so much to so many people, you
Yeah.
are that because of the
Mhm.
people pleasing.
Yes.
Because of there was once a time in your life where your voice was silenced.
Yes.
Or you felt like you couldn't speak up, or you didn't feel seen or chosen.
Yeah.
And that was my whole childhood. You know, I felt like I was always the really nice girl, and I found safety in being the really sweet, nice girl. You know, and the really sweet, nice girl is the one who often gets overlooked, and people are her friends because she's so sweet and nice, not because she takes up for herself.
No.
But because people are able to step on her, or people are able to, and let's just say, I'm not that little girl anymore.
Yeah.
And it feels good.
I love it.
I'm so sweet. Don't get me wrong.
No, you are.
But I know how to say no now.
Okay, good.
And I'm okay with that.
I love that for you too.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yes, because we also kind of manipulate other people by giving to them because they just expect it. They don't know. So it's almost like I did a disservice to my own family and friends by being like, sure, I'm the girl that does everything for everyone. Mm-hmm. And then they just expect it. And when I take it away, they're like, what? But I can't be mad that they're upset because it's like, that's all they know.
You conditioned them.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, I almost took that into, I almost made it my own world and I did it to myself.
Yeah.
Whereas now I look at it and I'm like, I'm not doing that anymore. And I will do it when I want to. Mm-hmm. If I want to make you a pie, I will make you a pie. If I don't want to it's going to taste probably bad. So don't ask me. Yeah. Because you put love into your food. And if you're not loving the person at that moment, you're like,
right. Or they can go and buy a pie. Yeah. Go buy your own damn pie.
Go buy your own damn pie.
Go to the store.
Yeah, it's right there.
What flavor you want. Period.
I love it. Okay, so I do want to come back a little bit.
Okay.
And ask you now, what do you think in this time in your life your gift truly is and how you are using it to help others? I know it's loaded. Take a second.
Well, I want to go back to healing.
Okay.
One of the things that I've been doing is I want to find significance in everything that I do. No matter what platform, whenever I open my mouth, I want there to be significance in even what I'm saying. You know, I host a game show right now, which is a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. And I told myself, how can I be more than just their game show host? And now they consider me like a motivator. And it's just simply because I want to give to them what was given to me through my healing journey, you know, because honestly, we're really not that different as human beings, right? Yeah. I want people to be in touch with their humanity. And one of the things that I say to my audience all the time is there is power in the way you feel. The secret to life is the feeling. So every single day you wake up, you get to choose how you want to feel. You can choose to feel like a winner. You can choose to feel good, be in a positive mood, a negative mood. No matter what your circumstances are, you get to choose how you want to feel. Yeah. That belongs to you. Yeah. You get to choose if you want to give that away. Right. You get to choose. You do. So for me, I'm learning that my gifts are to be a healer and to enlighten people, you know, through being honest and through my humanity. And I'm in a space where I'm learning what that looks like and what that feels like. Like I'm still in the very beginning stages of it. Yeah. But I've never felt this strong spiritually in my life. I've never felt so grounded in my life. And I have to thank my baby brother Adam that I lost for that, because he really he's the reason why I see my humanity differently, my mortality differently. Yeah. So it's beautiful. I mean, thank you for sharing that and being so open and vulnerable. I mean, you know, I truly believe that through pain comes like a rainbow or something beautiful. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, that is such a hard thing to go through. And it's crazy because for them, they are at peace and they're on the other side and it's nothing but love and peace and harmony. Yeah. And then on this side, we're the ones suffering because we miss them or we don't understand the lessons or we don't. But you're
taking this situation and really using it for your growth and to help better this whole entire world.
Thank
And
you.
that to me is why why you were chosen, as you would say.
Wow, thank you.
And you're gonna just blow up and be amazing. And also, what is this game show that you're on? Because everyone's probably like, well, what's the game show? What is it?
You know, it's so interesting. It's a mobile app called Live Play Mobile. And
Okay.
basically I hosted 2,000 to 3,000 people, like,
That's amazing.
at a time. It's phenomenal. It was started in the UK, like a big gamer and a big producer. They came together and they created this innovative new app where people can play live for 24 hours a day.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it's really cool.
So
I actually am hosting later on today.
Yes.
And it's
Check her
amazing.
out.
It's amazing. I also was in Spirited. So it's just like, it's so cool because there's so much going on right now.
Yes. And I think that everything happens for a reason. You're a beautiful person.
Wow.
And it's so funny because, honestly, I didn't even think to have you on the podcast, but we were speaking about some deep things earlier in the year and everything that you've been going through, and even before that, before your brother. But we've gotten to know each other, especially after the pandemic and on the phone. And so I was just like, I love her. And then one day I was like, what's my next podcast? And I'm like, I don't want to force it. I literally picked up my phone, looked at Instagram, and it was like your face came up, and I was like, it's her. Call Candi now. I was like, send message. Like, I was just like, I'm supposed to do it. I'm supposed to do it. This is a sign, And so it was just meant to be. And your story literally will help so many people you don't even know. And not everyone has to go through the same things, but just to know that we all have hardships and we all have things that we go through. But to be able to, and we're not comparing anything, if whatever you've been through, but just to know that if you love yourself, you believe in yourself, you take these things and you grow and you help others, we are all going to vibrate higher. I can't even talk. Vibrate higher and just love more and just spread that love. And that's all that we want, because like all this stuff of violence and war and hatred, like I don't even get it. It's like laughable to me.
It makes no sense.
No, like I literally sit there and sometimes I'm like laughing at people like screaming at each other. I'm like, this doesn't even make sense. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But what I want people to know is that we're really not all that different. Like,
no,
a lot of us have a lot of similarities. Like the degrees of separation between us, it's really not that different. And so when I tell people about foster care and what it means to grow up in foster care, a lot of people have gone through a lot of the same things. There's just a different label attached to it. So I think what we have to do is we have to change the stigmas and the narratives that are attached to these labels and attached to some of these stories, and understand that we're really not that different.
We're not. Yes, I love it. Okay, well, thank you so much for being on here today.
It has been an
love it. I know.
Honor. I love you.
I love you too. I know.
Guys, I can't believe. Look at this girl. She's a mom.
No,
she's a wife. She's you're killing it. You're a podcast host. You're killing it.
I'm trying to do it all, girl. But I don't know.
Are. Yeah. You're a girl boss.
Oh, I love it. Thank you, love. Oh, okay. Well, thanks, guys. We love you. Candi's the best. Check her out too. And do you want to shout out anything that you're working on right now?
Yes.
Instagram, something.
That has just been so awesome. You guys can follow me at MS Candi Marie, CandiMarie. This has been such a season of fruitfulness. Like I mentioned, I host a game show called Live Play Mobile. I was just I have a little cameo in a movie called Spirited with Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell. And I'm also a podcast host for a new podcast that's coming out called the Moving Up Together podcast.
Love it.
You guys check it out.
Yes. Thank you.